I just watched a video. It was midnight. I just finished a workout and something clicked. I watched a video that made something else click that I watched earlier today, and that's this. The kid calls for a tow. The woman, Vicky, calls the captain to do the tow. And she says, this kid's grandfather, this Jerry Ackerman, is a member. Before she says the guy's name, the captain says, Jerry? I just got off the phone with him. I literally just got off the phone with him. And he said that they don't need a tow, that they're fine. So, hold on. The grandson is calling for the tow simultaneous to the grandfather calling the captain of the towboat saying they don't need a tow before the captain gets a call from Vicky. When did the kid call the grandfather? While the boat is sinking? He called grandfather for what could grandfather possibly do for you? He called the grandfather for advice. What the fuck do we do? This kid's dead. Grandfather said, you gotta make a fucking trail. That you tried to get help. There was an accident, something happened, the boat's going under. Okay, it's a boat. Call. So there is a recording of you trying to get help for something, and we'll figure it out later. I think that their story has evolved. But that was what the grandfather thought of then, to create a timestamp in history of what was happening, what they were doing, where they were, and that there was a completely different emergency happening, nothing to do with Nolan, okay? And the grandfather did not want to get billed for this tow, and obviously didn't want the captain to go and happen upon whatever the fuck's going on. So he preempts the emergency call to the captain and says, hey, you might get a call, but they don't need it. I walked them through it, it's fine. It was an alibi advised by the grandfather. You remember the Murdoch documentary series. You remember that, right? You remember when his son killed a girl in a boating accident, right? And how they completely jumped into action immediately without skipping a fucking beat to do a cover-up. They all get back, they all wipe all of, in unison, all wipe their social media. Why would you have to do that? Well, why the fuck would you have to do that? If you left him on the island, why are you deleting all of your social media? Another thing.
The core of the argument isn't about who's right in the underlying dispute. It's that there's a real difference between protecting an active investigation and simply confirming or denying whether a specific meeting happened on a specific date. One of those is about evidence. The other is just an administrative fact. And right now, the second one hasn't been answered either way.
All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under...
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
He said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So
Oh,
I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. That they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
yeah,
Or,
they're in a panic. He's saying the
So-
bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, you know, I get it. It's a
Okay.
kid. He just doesn't understand.
oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, you know, membership, so it's just under fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to. If you want to, I mean, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is he a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are
You can
swamped.
try the cell phone number.
Here we go. This was from the Officer Tatum show, and you're about to see people. There they are down at the right, and there's actual video of people see the boat at about 1 o'clock. Oh, there we go. Excellent shot, guys. People are getting on, people getting off, and it keeps going to where you see everybody that got on the boat. But here's my big question tonight, before I can even get to the alleged witnesses that Tyler Cox is telling us about. Dave Mack, joining me, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Can I see the video again, please? Dave Mack, I'm seeing everybody preparing the Triton to go out, preparing to go out. In this shot, they're down at about 3 o'clock. Okay, keep looking. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then suddenly you switch to a different camera. There you go. That's the boat. So Dave Mack, where is the evidence? Where is the video of the boat? Is that Nolan right there? Walking along the light blue shorts, and he at that time had on a white shirt. I think that's Nolan right there. Dave Mack, where is the evidence, the video evidence of them coming back?
Nancy, we have not seen evidence of them coming back. Remember, 3 boats caravanned out to the island, and then we have different stories about when they arrived back on the mainland. But we don't have video of any of
So
them
we don't
showing
have
back
that
up.
video.
Correct.
Okay, let's circle back to the alleged witnesses that
boat. At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs. So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. Now, the boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? And then, from there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap? This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes. You would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
which has, I've been there, and it is a world-class Crim Pro division. Whole building, whole floor is set up just to recreate scenes. And I was so impressed by it. Joe Scott has worked with me on multiple recreations, intricate recreations at Jacksonville State University to try to figure out, is what the defendant is saying, does that make sense? Is what the state is saying, does that make sense? Just all sorts of things you can learn from actually recreating the scene. That said, Joe Scott, I have examined evidence myself at the crime lab, and you know the crime lab out on Panthersville Road is amazing, state of the art, with the defense attorney there. And I typically do not allow,
displaying names, displayed names. They want IP addresses associated with every account, all communications, chats, posts, stories, and info.
Not, but I don't want
his cell phone has become a key, a critical issue in the probe into Nolan's death.
And it can.
What happened to Nolan? Now his mother, Christine, says when her son's phone was brought to the family, they had concerns because there were no pictures or videos on either of his Snapchat accounts.
Yeah, you're right, and it happens.
Triggering
Nancy, I've actually
their
been
fear,
in autopsy suites
items
with defense
may
attorneys.
have been
believe it or
deleted.
not. All manner
That's
of people
what's
come through
happening.
the labs over the
There's
years.
been a lot of controversy.
As an independent
Were photos,
set of
were
eyes.
texts deleted,
So
were snaps
let's just say
deleted.
that they do, in
We've been
fact,
trying to
have an
figure it
independent
out,
individual
but we're seeing through a
examine this
mirror
phone.
darkly. We
And
don't
I think this question
know.
goes back to you as a prosecuting attorney. Would any kind of findings that were on that phone, would they be negated as a result of the state not doing? You know, if you wanted to move forward as using this evidence in a criminal prosecution, perhaps, would it invalidate it since the state is not doing it? And what are you going to find? And how many hands are going to be on this phone at that given time?
Are you saying that if the defense did their own investigation of the phone and the state did not, would that negate the defense findings?
Yeah, because remember, we've got a grand jury that's going to be
let me
impaneled,
tell you,
allegedly.
HELLYES. Because the first thing, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would do is, isn't it true? I gave you the opportunity to review the phone. Isn't that true? On this date. And you didn't do it. So don't come complaining now. Oh yeah, that would be a matter for cross-exam.
This next one is different because it's not about missing footage. It's about something the friend group said themselves, in their own words, that I don't think got followed all the way through. According to their own account, several people left their phones on the boat that day and had to wait at the dock for someone to bring them back. One name specifically got mentioned in that account, Marcus. Now here's the fair read. A busy dock at the end of a long day on the water. Multiple people showing up at different times. Everyone tired.
See,
everyone assuming the next person will show up eventually. That's a completely ordinary environment for something to get missed. Nobody's specifically tracking who's arrived and who hasn't. That's just not how normal group attention works.
Instagram,
but here's what makes that harder to lean on the more you sit with it. If the group's own account is accurate, then the moment Marcus showed up to collect his phone is also the moment the group would have been standing there holding Caleb's phone too.
Some
with no
material
sign
was
of Caleb
deleted
himself.
from Nolan's phone.
That's not a question
and
about
this is what they're
anyone's
trying
honesty.
to prove with these
It's
subpoenas
just a question
to get
about timing.
all of the information,
If multiple
as well
people
as,
were
by the way,
showing
the
up one at a
location
time to
tracking app,
collect their
Life
phones,
360,
and
see, that's
everyone did
Snapchat,
except
WhatsApp,
Caleb,
TikTok,
why didn't that
Meta
specific
platforms,
moment
and
register as
Life
the first red
360.
flag
All of this,
instead of
the
hours
court
later?
documents already filed.
Verdict.
The teen
This
college
one
football
stays open,
players'
too. The ordinary
mysterious
explanation
death,
is real.
they
and
were
worth taking
issued in the last
seriously.
24
But
hours,
the doc moment
including
itself, the actual
Snapchat,
sequence of who
WhatsApp,
was standing where,
TikTok,
holding what,
Meta
and when,
platforms,
still hasn't been explained
Life
publicly in a way that accounts
360,
for all of it.
and these are
If
according
you were
to
standing at that
court
dock, watching
documents
everyone else's
demanding
phone
the
get
companies
handed
turn
back
over
one at a
all
time,
materials,
at what
info
point does that
related
start to
to
feel
Nolan's
strange to you?
accounts.
Now here's
This
the one that
includes
actually brought me back to
current
this case
and
tonight.
prior username.
Question so many people have is why he would have left his cell phone behind. And you say you were the person who actually went and retrieved that phone for the family. How'd you get your hands on the phone? Where was it?
That is correct. Christine called me and told me, hey, where are the boys? Nolan hasn't been heard from since such and such time. Where are your boys? I said, well, Javon is with his girlfriend, and I just spoke with Jalen, and they are headed to downtown, which I was literally getting ready to get in the shower to go downtown as well. She said, well, Nolan hasn't been. So I instantly called with Christine on the phone, Javon. Javon said no, he hadn't seen Nolan since early on the island. And he was like, what? Are y'all serious? And we was like, yes. And so Christine intervened in the conversation, said, Nolan has not been heard from since he left the island. So Javon was like, well, that's, that's when I seen it. I haven't seen it since then. You know, again, everybody goes their separate ways. So I then hang up from Javon because obviously there's nothing he can say to tell me anything. So then Jalen, I call him. Jalen did not answer the phone. Christine again is on the phone. Jalen did not answer the phone. LeBaron, I called, after he didn't answer the phone, I called LeBaron, which is their other friend, LeBaron Broomfield. He answered. He said, Jalen is in the gas station. Hold on. So he said, hey, Jalen, Mom on the phone. So he was like, Jalen, like, what's up, Mom? What's going on? I was like, hey, have y'all heard from Nolan? They said, no, we have not heard from Nolan.
But where was the phone?
So I was like, well, okay. So that's when we started checking the phone. Well, for Christine, it said one place, but for them on Snapchat, it showed another place. So that's the place we went to. And it showed that everybody that was in the house, it was like a lot of people there. Like it was, I'm not familiar with all the kids. I only know like one or two there. But it showed that the phone was at what a lot of people were at. So that's how we knew where to go to. We went there. They were all there. They were sitting there, lights off, watching TV.
Did they immediately give you the phone? Because knowing that phone was there.
It took about 15. They did. They gave me the phone, but it took about 15 minutes to get the phone. Because I even asked, I'm like, did y'all have to walk back to Horn Island to get the phone? Or like, where's the phone? Because it took so long when they said it was in, when Wyatt told me it was in his truck, it took him so long to get the phone back to me.
Christine,
so when they brought the phone back.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Tashima. I want to hear that.
When they brought the phone, after I said something about it, he was like, well, she's going to get it. I was like, who's going to get it? He's like, the girl's going.
So where does that actually leave us tonight? The return footage, still unresolved. The dock moment, still unresolved. The phone timeline, still unresolved. But now it's the one with actual dates attached to it, which means it's also the one most likely to get a real answer soon. None of this proves anything on its own. That's worth saying plainly, the same way we've said it about every thread tonight. But when the single piece of evidence most capable of actually answering these open questions has been sitting unresolved since July, that delay becomes its own story, independent of whatever's actually on that phone. If you have any information relevant to this case, that's exactly the kind of tip that could move this forward. If you want me to keep tracking this one, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch the next update the moment it drops. And tell me in the comments, which thread do you want me to dig into next?